Big drama is unfolding at FC Barcelona. Hansi Flick and the club's board are clashing over one massive name, Marcus Rashford. After missing out on Nico Williams, the search for a new winger has intensified, and Rashford is now right in the spotlight. But not everyone at Camp Nou is convinced. In this video we break down the internal conflict at Barcelona, how close Rashford is to making the move, and what it means for the rest of the transfer window. Plus, we'll talk about rising star Oscar Geese, Barcelona's Champions League ambitions, and a major UCL format change that could give Barca a home advantage next season. Don't miss this packed update. Barcelona head coach Hansi Flick possesses an altogether different opinion of the talents of rumored Blaugrana transfer target Marcus Rashford to that of the club's board. That's according to Diario Sport, who have on Thursday provided an insight into the situation. The name of Manchester United star Rashford has of course returned to the headlines in Catalonia's capital over the course of the last week. This comes amid the understanding that, after missing out on chief attacking target Nico Williams, Barcelona are now giving consideration to a free swoop for the Englishman. Rashford is completely out of favor at Old Trafford, expected to be on the move before the summer is out as a result. As alluded to above, though, feelings behind the scenes at Barcelona are not exactly unanimous when it comes to the potential arrival of the 27-year-old. In fact, as per a report from Sport, Hansi Flick likes Rashford a lot, not so much the sporting management, meaning a final decision will soon need to be made regarding the Blaugrana's pursuit. Barcelona are determined to sign a new left winger this summer, and after missing out on Nico Williams, other targets are being pursued. Marcus Rashford is among the players on their shortlist, and the chances of a deal with Manchester United becoming a reality have taken a step forward. With Nico Williams deciding to stay at Athletic Club, Barcelona have now shifted their attention to two big names, Luis Diaz and Marcus Rashford. While Deco reportedly favors the Liverpool star, that transfer is looking complicated, mainly because Bayern Munich are also pushing hard to sign him and negotiations with Liverpool are proving tough. That situation, however, is making Marcus Rashford a much more realistic option. Talks with Manchester United would likely be smoother, and crucially, Rashford is said to be very eager to join Barcelona. At 27, the English forward is keen on a fresh start, and this could be his best shot at a dream move to Camp Nou. As reported by Mateo Moretto, Hansi Flick has given the green light for Barcelona to pursue a deal for Rashford, whom the club hopes can be signed on loan with an option to buy him permanently next summer. Barcelona to hold further talks for Rashford. It's also reported that Barcelona will hold new contacts for Rashford, who is willing to significantly reduce his wages at Man United in order for the Catalans to be able to fit them into their salary limit. As such, it would be no surprise to see an agreement on personal terms reached in the coming weeks. Rashford has made it clear that he will only consider a move to Barcelona as long as it is a possibility for him. While this is very frustrating for Man United, who want to sell him in order to raise funds for their own transfers, there is little that they can do while the England international stance is this. And that plays into the hands of those at Barca. Exciting Barcelona striker Oscar Geese tipped to make the leap to first team. Barcelona teenager Oscar Geese has been tipped to make the jump to the first team in the future. The number 9 is still only 17 but is very highly rated, and the hope is that he can progress all the way into the senior squad. Hugo Alba, who has just departed Barca and knows Geese well, thinks he has the talent to go all the way with the Catalan Giants. He's one of those who could make the leap, he told Gigantes. He's 2 years younger than me, but I think he'll have a role to play because he has so much potential. Geese is set to work with new Barcelona Athletic boss Juliano Belletti next season, and Alba says the Brazilian is a brilliant coach. He's the best coach I've ever had, he explained. The way he treats the dressing room, the way he runs things, the discipline. I think all my teammates would agree. FC Barcelona remain fully committed to fighting for every title next season, and they are already working towards that objective. However, the right players and tactics will be crucial to accomplish that. As for the mentality, Barcelona seem to have that sorted. Even when it comes to individual players, there is no denying the quality that this team already has. With stars like Pedri earning praise from even rival club legends like Toni Kroos, Barcelona remain fortunate to have players who have that kind of quality. Barcelona are already taking steps to strengthen the squad and stay competitive for next season. One of the first moves was securing the signing of Spanish goalkeeper Joan García, adding depth and quality between the posts. Meanwhile, the hunt for a new winger remains a top priority. Even though some targets have slipped away, the club is determined to find the right player, no matter how long the process takes this summer. A new change in the UCL format. Ultimately, the club managed to succeed in every single domestic competition last season. However, their only failure came in the UEFA Champions League as they failed to beat Inter Milan in the semi-final and only marginally ended up losing that tie. Still, the club did better than most people expected from them at the start of last season. Yet, simply exceeding expectations is not enough for Barcelona, and next season's campaign is yet another chance for them to get back to the top. However, a new change in the format of the UEFA Champions League is planned for next season, and it could potentially benefit Barcelona as well. As revealed by the club through an official post, the new format for the 2025-26 season will reward teams that finish near the top of the league phase of the competition. Possible home advantage for Barcelona. The teams that manage to do that will get the benefit of getting to play the second leg of every single knockout game at their own home stadium. That would mean that if Barcelona were to finish in the top 8 of the competition just like they did last season, they could get to play the round of 16, quarter-final, and semi-final of the competition at home. Last season, however, obviously did not have this rule in place. That is why, despite Barca finishing second in the league phase, ended up playing the second leg of their quarter-final tie against Borussia Dortmund and their semi-final tie against Inter Milan away from home. So, Hansi Flick says yes to Rashford, but Deco and the sporting management aren't on the same page. Will Barcelona go through with the deal, or is this another transfer that slips away? Meanwhile, all eyes are on young Oscar Geese and Barca's renewed focus on dominating next season. With new Champions League rules favoring top teams, Barca could finally turn their European dreams into reality, but only if the right moves are made now. Stay tuned for more transfer updates, UCL news, and exclusive Barca stories. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell for all the latest from Camp Nou. Astros, what's up, Culers? Big transfer news is shaking up the summer once again. Barcelona have reportedly set their sights on a surprise Chelsea forward, and it's a move that's leaving fans scratching their heads. Could this be a tactical masterstroke, or another puzzling transfer gamble? And if that wasn't enough, super agent Jorge Mendes is back in the headlines, this time offering one of Aston Villa's standout stars to both Manchester City and Barcelona. Is this a power play from Mendes, or a real opportunity for Barca to grab a Premier League talent? Let's break it all down, from shocking links to strategic moves, in today's transfer update. Barcelona are plotting shock talks to sign Nicolas Jackson from Chelsea, with a report detailing how the Catalan giants could sign him despite financial constraints. Jackson arrived in England in July 2023 when Chelsea paid Villarreal £32 million for his services. The striker has since managed 30 goals and 12 assists in 81 matches for Chelsea, helping the Blues to win the Europa Conference League while also returning to the Champions League via their Premier League finish. Chelsea Chiefs rate Jackson highly and believe he will go on to become a top-class goalscorer in the future. They have previously rebuffed approaches to sell the 24-year-old, believing in his potential. But Jackson's future at Stamford Bridge has become uncertain in recent months. He has picked up 2 red cards lately, the most recent of which came against Flamengo in the Club World Cup. Jackson appears to be struggling with the idea that Chelsea have signed Liam Delap and João Pedro to provide him with competition for his starting spot up front. Jackson can also play off the left wing, though Enzo Maresca's side have just brought in Jamie Gittins to improve that area of the squad. According to an ambitious report from Spanish source Fichajes, Barcelona are closely monitoring Jackson's situation at Chelsea. Barcelona have set their sights on the Senegal international, believing there could soon be a market opportunity to take him back to La Liga on a bargain deal. Barca sporting director Deco is supposedly planning talks with Chelsea officials over a possible season-long loan for Jackson. Such a transfer would ease the pressure on current Barca striker Robert Lewandowski, who is 36 years old and in the latter part of his career. Barcelona, Juventus and Napoli all eyeing Nicolas Jackson, who reports. Barca are not the first European giant to be linked with Jackson this summer. It emerged on June 21 that Juventus and Napoli are both keen on the player, who is no longer untouchable, at Chelsea. While the chances of Jackson leaving Chelsea have certainly increased, it would be a surprise if he joined Barca, one of the biggest clubs in the world. Jackson is not yet in the elite standard of strikers, having left Chelsea fans frustrated at times by missing glorious chances. Plus, it has been widely reported that Chelsea brought in Delap to compete with Jackson, rather than replace him. Pedro, meanwhile, is viewed as the new versatile attacker in Maresca's squad, replacing Christopher Nkunku. It is likely Maresca and Chelsea will assess Jackson for another year before making a final decision on his future. If Jackson's poor disciplinary record continues and his goal-scoring statistics fail to improve, then Chelsea could put him on the market in summer 2026. Super agent Jorge Mendes is making moves again, and this time he's reportedly offered one of Aston Villa's top players to both Manchester City and Barcelona ahead of the 2025-26 season. With Aston Villa planning a major squad overhaul, they're looking to bring in fresh talent. Two key attackers, Marcus Rashford and Marco Asensio, have already returned to their parent clubs, Manchester United and PSG, after short loan spells last season. And it looks like Villa won't be trying to bring either of them back. This opens the door for other big names to leave or arrive, and Mendes seems to be placing his client right in the middle of that opportunity, potentially handing Barca a new option for their attack. However, Aston Villa would have the chance to re-sign either player should they wish. But in the case of Asensio, there is unlikely to be another pursuit despite his significant impact at Villa Park last season. But a return to the Premier League could still be on the cards for Asensio, who has no future at PSG. Man City and Barcelona offered chance to sign Marco Asensio. As per Gazzetta dello Sport via Sport Witness, PSG have offered out Asensio to several clubs, among them Man City and Barcelona. Both clubs could be competing with Inter Milan in the race to sign the 29-year-old, as the Serie A giants have registered their interest in recent days. The problem is that Man City are showing no signs of being interested in a move, while a deal with Barcelona could also be tricky, and not only because of their financial problems. Asensio is a former Real Madrid player, so it is unlikely that he would accept the move, and the La Liga champions are unlikely to be very enthused either. PSG are hoping that Asensio's impressive loan spell at Aston Villa, which saw him register 8 goals and 1 assist in 21 appearances, will lead to a permanent transfer being completed before the end of the summer. For now, it remains to be seen where Asensio ends up by the start of September. Aston Villa could reignite their interest at some stage, but it appears unlikely. So, will Barca really go through with a shock move for a Chelsea attacker? And could Jorge Mendes be setting the stage for another Premier League star to arrive at Camp Nou? It's clear that Barcelona's transfer plans are far from over, and things could get even crazier in the coming days. Make sure to like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell to stay locked in with all the latest from Camp Nou.